In the latest developments, Ukrainian President Zelensky confirmed he will attend the next G7 summit and may appear virtually at the EU summit as well. He revealed Russia has amassed 50,000 troops near Ukraine's Sumy region as a peace talks venue. He suggested Turkey, Switzerland, or the Vatican instead. Malta and several African nations have offered to host peace talks, while Zelensky is seeking $30 billion to boost Ukraine's defense production. Meanwhile, Russia claims advances across almost all Ukrainian front lines and accuses NATO of using the war to expand its presence in Eastern Europe. Russia says Ukraine is ignoring its peace overtures. Overnight, Russia launched 88 drones and 5 ballistic missiles. Ukraine says nearly 300 Ukrainian drones were downed by Russian forces. Tensions remain high on all fronts. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump issued a stark warning to Russian President Vladimir Putin, declaring he's playing with fire as the U.S. considers fresh sanctions over the ongoing war in Ukraine. Trump's sharp remarks come after a deadly Russian drone strike killed at least 13 Ukrainians and amid stalled peace talks. Expressing frustration, Trump claimed Putin has gone absolutely crazy, a significant shift from his past praise of the Russian leader. Reports suggest that Trump may impose new sanctions as early as this week. The White House says Trump is keeping all options open. Russia continues to blame Ukraine for provoking conflict, claiming massive drone attacks by Kyiv. Meanwhile, Ukraine and U.S. lawmakers are urging tougher action. Top Republicans and Democrats are calling for stronger sanctions, including secondary measures on Russian oil buyers. Meanwhile, Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, currently in Moscow, will visit Kyiv this week. A Turkish official confirmed yesterday. The exact date remains undisclosed. Turkey maintains strong ties with both Russia and Ukraine and hosted their first direct peace talks earlier this month. While Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov, after meeting Turkey's Hakan Fidan, proposed continuing Russia-Ukraine peace talks in Istanbul, calling it a very good location. Russia says a new peace talks with Ukraine are coming soon. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov confirmed that the next round of direct talks will be announced in the nearest future. He said the last round was held in Istanbul on May 16 and claimed Kyiv had earlier refused to participate under pressure from European leaders. Lavrov stressed that Russia's core demand remains Ukraine's neutrality. He cited Ukraine's 1991 Declaration of Independence, which he claimed promised a neutral, non-aligned, and nuclear-free status. He said that this promise made it possible for Russia to recognize Ukraine's sovereignty. Lavrov also demanded the cancellation of laws he called discriminatory, targeting the Russian language and church. He said these issues will remain a priority in future talks. Let us listen in to what the foreign minister had to say.
15 мая в Стамбуле были возобновлены прямые переговоры по всем вопросам урегулирования, к чему мы были давно готовы, но Украина отказывалась, и ее не пускали в этот процесс хозяева, прежде всего руководство нынешней Европы. На этих переговорах от 16 мая в Стамбуле, когда они возобновились, мы настаивали на отмене всех этих дискриминационных законов и будем продолжать это делать на следующем раунде прямых переговоров, о котором мы объявим в самое ближайшее время.
We have Thomas Porteous, correspondent of NewsX World, joining us live from New Delhi. Thank you for joining us, Thomas. President Zelensky is heading to the G7. What concrete commitment is he hoping to secure from Canada and the other leaders?
Suma, obviously G7 is full of staunch Ukrainian allies, apart from the United States now, which currently sits on the fence but is mediating this conflict. As violence spirals on through the Ukrainian east, diplomatic things still keep going on behind the scenes. President Zelensky is currently in Berlin to meet with longtime ally and new Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz. They're hoping to discuss further developments in regards to Europe's role in this peace deal. President Zelensky has also announced his hopes for a trilateral summit. Like, this would be a huge development if this were to occur. A trilateral summit between himself, Russian President Putin, and American President Donald Trump. Now, these three figureheads of these nations is crucial for these peace talks to keep moving on. We still continue to see deaths and destruction on the battlefield on a daily basis, drone strikes going either way, and talks and peace deals seem very far away still, even though Donald Trump has continued to reiterate his eagerness to end this conflict since January the 20th, when he was first inaugurated. However, we will see how this develops. Russia has also said that it is developing a new peace deal. We've previously seen Ukraine and the US agree to ceasefire deals in the past. However, Russia has held back in agreeing to them, and one of the main parts of this would be the conceding of land, which Ukraine does not want to do, the absence of European peacekeepers in Ukraine, which Russia also doesn't want to do. So it will be interesting to learn the terms of this peace agreement when it does come through. However, Sergei Lavrov, we've literally just heard him finish speaking just moments ago, and he has revealed that there will be a second round of direct peace talks in Istanbul. Now, he didn't give a date, but we will see the second round of direct talks between Ukrainian officials and Russian officials in the coming future. The Russian foreign minister has confirmed the previous talks ended in a 1,000-person prisoner swap, the largest of the war so far, and we'll yet to see where these next talks in Istanbul will end up. Will we see any progress in this ongoing, over 3-year-old conflict now?
And now, moving on to what Zelensky has asked, where would the $30 billion Zelensky wants for domestic arms production come from, and how quickly could that boost Ukraine's battlefield capacity?
Well, we don't have the information of where directly that could come from, or if that is indeed an accurate figure, obviously. But there have been many allies of Ukraine giving Ukraine money in order to fund their resistance against the Russian forces, and he is constantly trying to garner more support. President Zelensky is quite often not in his own country because he's trying to rally international support behind the Ukrainian cause, and so we will have to see his allies raise that money. The Biden administration gave the Ukrainians over 150 euros worth in military aid, and so that has come to a halt since Donald Trump took office in January, and there has been trickling through of aid finances since then from European allies majoritarily. However, we will yet to see if that $30 billion figure will keep Ukraine safe and secure for the future.